Welcome back to the Wormhole Extremists. My name is David. I'm with Nicole.
Hello.
And Yvonne.
Oh, Yvonne,
You full
hello.
named her like that. Oh my goodness.
Yvie, your whole image is very geometric today.
I wanted to wear my new dress,
Oh
which is like a Vegemite
Is that a
thing.
picture? Yeah,
Oh,
Vegemite.
yes, it
Oh, yummy.
is.
Oh, yum
Except,
yum.
except it says Happy Mite
Oh,
There we go.
because the
because of
copyright.
trademarks.
Yeah.
Anyone who's been
yeah.
watching Squid Game is probably going to get some PTSD there. So it's a lot of
Oh, I'm
squares.
sorry.
My favorite
I
lines of
apologize.
this entire of years of watching television. May I please use the bathroom, Mr. Triangle?
Mr. Jordan.
Because the
Do you
triangles
watch
are
it
the guards.
dubbed or do you
Yeah.
watch it in
I watch
subtitles?
it dubbed. It moves,
Ah.
but it moves too fast
Right.
for me to pay attention to anything other than the words. And the
That's
dubbing
fair.
on it, the dubbing on it is very good.
I don't like
So-
subtitles, but usually with the language translation issue, I can't deal with dubbing because their mouths aren't synced up and it annoys me. So
Yeah.
I usually
Some
watch it with
languages are-
subtitles.
like Japanese,
Fair.
I can do subtitles because they spend a lot of time articulating themselves, and so. But
Right.
if I'm just reading the words and that's all that I have time for, it's like
Yeah.
I think, entering my middle-aged era, and
no.
I absolutely love subtitles.
Oh yeah.
I have subtitles on everything.
Yeah.
I used to hate them, but I subtitle everything.
They're always on in my house.
Especially
My
if
dad-
there's like,
my dad can't hear.
yeah,
so,
if it's,
helicopter pilot, so they've
My
always
friends are
been
like
on.
that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair. But yeah, if there's like any different like people speaking quickly or any different accents, yeah, I'm just like, I can't hear you. So I've got to put the subtitles on.
I've got an important thing to share now that you've mentioned age, just because it's my friend and I had a good conversation today. So she asked me if I'm free next week, and it's a friend that doesn't know my birthday well yet because we're still in the early stages of friendship. And I said, no, it's my
Aw.
birthday Saturday. And she was like, oh, how old are you gonna be? And I was like 27, and she was like, you're in your Charlotte Lucas year. And I was like, F off. No, that's what I said.
Oh.
So David doesn't get the reference. So I'm just gonna
From Pride
quote
and Prejudice.
what I said. I said, I have one prospect, my boyfriend. I have some money. I do still live with my family, so I'm a burden on my family. And so the
Oh
idea,
my God,
David, is
I
in
love
Pride and
that so
Prejudice.
much.
Charlotte Lucas realizes she's like gonna die an old maid, so she needs to marry Mr. Collins because she's 27 and has no prospects, no nothing. And so she
this
marries
was
Yeah.
like the worst guy.
written
So,
Yep.
18.
something, yeah.
1883 or something.
Yeah. So I'm approaching
1813.
1813. Wow, I was
So
off.
if they're
Oh, I
27
love
years
that.
old and are going to die an old maid. I suppose
Yeah.
if
Yep.
you died
Yep.
in your 60s, then, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It's essentially like almost halfway there.
So I just wanted to share that I'm entering my Charlotte Lucas year, and I'm sure you.
Oh,
40!
I love
People
that
in the
so
1800s, they lived to
much.
40s. So, yeah.
I know.
I don't
it's
think that applies to
frightening.
you anymore, Nicole.
No, but it's still
Since we've
funny.
doubled the human lifespan.
Still funny.
Yeah, even I wasn't married at 27, so
But did you have
guys-
prospects money, and were you living with your family?
I was living with my family, but I was
Okay.
building my house.
You were
I
dating
think.
Adam.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Actually, I think we were living in our first rental together.
Okay.
See,
I think
Evie's
when I was
already
27,
ahead of
I
me.
think.
This wench.
Yeah, but you've already
Different era.
pretty much found the one. So.
Yeah, I know. It's just a slow
Look
process
at
to
me,
get out.
single.
Hey,
I can
David,
impregnate
it's a-
until-
to that,
until
trust
It's
me.
a
death.
good life. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want. It's great.
All right.
I
Well,
love Peta, but I'm
some days-
jealous to a degree.
Well,
Grass is always
my
green on the
pillows
other
don't
side,
hold me when
huh?
I sleep at night. I hold them. So,
Oh, wow.
okay, I have a bad example.
Yes, I'm excited for your bad example. I'm excited about not getting it. but
Anthony
yes.
just said he was married at 23. My
Anthony got
guy,
started
I
young.
respect that. I
Oh,
respect
that's
that.
so young.
Commitment.
Oh, baby Anthony.
Baby Anthony. Jeez. All righty, guys. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. This one shouldn't be too hard.
Oh, I'm stressed.
But I spent
Okay.
a little bit more than 30 seconds, probably like 45 seconds creating it. You ready?
Okay.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Oh, it's Atlantis.
It's okay.
It'd be the Wraith.
It's
Is
no,
when they sink to the bottom of the ocean, yeah?
It's not the
to
Wraith.
avoid Well, they're avoiding that. Oh, they're.
Is it the replicator satellite at the end of season 3? Is it
Oh, so much for letting the chat guess it.
Oh shoot, sorry, yes everybody.
But you haven't said the name of the
I
episode.
haven't said it yet. And I'm gonna say it in a second. I'm gonna say
I thought it was pretty good.
I'm gonna
it's a
say
great-
first strike
Jacob!
because
First
Jacob
strike.
and Raj Luthor have
And
just
Raj,
done it.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Good
Beneath the
job.
surface. Oh, well, I mean,
It's the replicator satellite.
it is.
I have a really easy Atlantis one as well, which is why I was like,
You
oh
want to
yeah,
do
I
it?
can't...
Go ahead and do
We
it.
Oh, you've
both
done
did
the Atlantis one.
the
Oh.
ones. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'll take either answer on this one.
The storm? Is it storm or whatever it's called?
The storm in the eye. It's the two
Oh, it's
parter.
that's
Oh,
funny.
Love it.
I was like, this is going to be so easy, but I really want to do it. I
This
even
is
did the puddle
great.
jumper, climbing up through the
Oh,
eye.
I thought it was.
in
I
order to
thought
get
on the
outside.
left was the storm,
Yes.
and on the right was the eye. Like that was an eye.
Yeah,
like a pupil.
That's what I
well,
thought. But the jumper,
was-
and I was like, it must be the
it was-
jumper.
two hurricanes, the two hurricanes merging.
Right.
So
Oh, I
yeah,
love
this
it.
was
I love that you've both gone with Atlantis.
Yeah.
floating.
That's the
Well,
thing that
well,
always
things
frustrated
attack.
me is that, on the ocean, it rains all the time. And it rained
Yeah.
for 2 episodes. And I had
I
that
know.
conversation with Martin Garrow in season 5. I was like, it hasn't rained since. And they're like, well, you got the storm in the eye. I'm like, yeah, I know. But, you think that
We're talking 5
sometimes
years.
it was fog. They would have fog outside. But if you're not going to have
Yeah.
any exterior shots, just generate a couple of shots where it's raining.
Yeah,
You know?
or like just spritz
Just
around some like moisture
Yeah.
on the windows, like dripping down, just being like, oh
Yeah,
look,
just
we
get
have-
someone with a hose
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
outside against
Everyone
the
got it pretty
pane
quickly. We
glass
got
windows.
the storm, the eye, the storm, the storm, the
Yeah,
storm.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a
Sometimes the
combination.
bad examples are good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad we both had Atlantis silly ones
That's
there.
funny.
When I was talking to Nicole, didn't you see the chat, David? I said, is someone going to do bad example? And she said she would. And I don't think Nicole responded, but I said, just make sure it's badder.
Badder. Stronger,
Let's make
badder,
bigger.
faster, bigger. Yeah.
Badder.
All right. So next up is an episode that I just adore. So I'm very interested in
Really?
seeing this with you guys.
Agreed.
I
No,
love the
it's-
Changeling.
I respect it. I never loved it very much growing up, but maybe that's because I was young and
Oh.
dumb. So shall we
That's
see
not
how
well.
I feel?
It's so
You also watch the
complex
episodes
and
all out of
layered.
Yes, it's true.
It's I actually did like a massive deep dive into this episode over the weekend. My Saturday was just analyzing the Changeling.
Wow.
It's a whole
respect it.
Saturday. And I got to the point where I had so many notes. I
That's a
needed
lot of
help
timestamps.
organizing them.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
it is quite a lot of timestamps. I do apologize, Nicole. I did send you
We'll
the
let you talk a
timestamps.
lot.
First
But
5 minutes.
It's more at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of ground to cover.
Well, I'll
It's-
talk about
yeah.
how I felt watching it for the first time, and just at a certain point, just giving up on the internal logic, because
Yes. Yeah.
eventually Daniel makes the suggestion that is the truth. Okay, you guys ready to rock and roll?
yeah, let me
do it
just
when Yvie's
double click
ready.
my icon. Yes, I am ready.
Our episodes for season 6 do not have the opening MGM logo with the lion roaring, so if yours does, please skip past that to the black. If yours doesn't, you're in the right spot, like the rest of us. All right, folks.
Okay.
In 5, 4, 3. My name is David. I'm with Nicole
Hello.
and Yvie.
Hello.
And we are the Wormhole Extremists, and that is the back of the lovely Peter Williams. Wait a second. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's
no, he
someone else.
enters the screen a little
about
bit
to be.
later.
Okay.
Later, yeah.
But this is a bit of a unique Steadicam shot through the hospital corridors by Martin Wood, who directed this episode. And I believe these scenes were filmed at the George Pearson Hospital in Vancouver.
See, this is him now, isn't it?
Yes, correct, with the
Yeah.
gloves. Scalpel.
Ooh.
And he's wide awake. Sort of a very rare glimpse of Tilkin terror. It's
Yeah.
sort of quite uncharacteristically like emotional.
There's a lot of Tilkin terror
this-
in this episode.
There is. So this is called the classic catapult nightmare trope, where like a dramatic moment and the character jolts awake from a bad dream. And I think while the Changeling breaks away from like sort of typical dream episode conventions, it does still use this like pretty familiar technique. So obviously we've got no gold emblem on his forehead, we've got no symbiote pouch, and most tellingly, he's speaking like in casual contractions and slang, instead of his usual formal pattern. And I think it's worth noting early, how this episode lets us see a different side of Christopher Judge's acting range.
Yeah.
We kind of see more of him in this.
Yes, we do.
And I've always wondered how he would have this information about fire department lingo and the inner workings of a place if Teal'c had never experienced that himself.
Yes,
so my
I have a
conclusion is that
theory.
he read up on them at some point, you know, like he read the Bible and like he watched TV.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he watched something on TV, but I'll have a comment that'll come full circle, so I'll
okay.
let it happen.
And he just assimilated it. So
Yes, I agree. I remember feeling so unnerved hearing him talk like this when I first watched this episode.
Yeah, when I watched it, I was like, what the hell what happened to my Stargate?
Yeah,
it's almost a different
unsettling.
series.
Yeah. It made me, I think that's maybe why I was so uncomfortable with it, because it made me uncomfortable, so I didn't really enjoy it like I do usually.
Yes. So like right away,
Layers
this
and
episode
layers.
hits us with like 3 back-to-back awakenings, so to speak. And I think this clever structure sort of immediately makes us question which is reality and sets the tone for the entire episode.
You're going on a ride.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are. So I think while Warrior was Chris's first story, this episode marked his debut as a script writer.
Yep.
And the genesis for the episode apparently came from his childhood dream of riding a fire truck.
Yep.
And this simple sort of wish inspired him to write Teal'c as a firefighter. And Chris really credits Brad Wright for encouraging him to write the story rather than just pitch them. And I think after submitting the story, Chris experienced like a nerve-wracking weekend before receiving sort of 2 crucially validating calls. He received a phone call from Brad Wright sort of giggling in praise, and then Martin Wood, who confidently laid out his vision. And I think even Joseph Malozzi prefaced this episode by promising that it would be different for Teal'c and would have major repercussions.
Christopher was really inspired by Abyss and was like, I want to
Yes.
do Teal'c's version of Jack falling into the 10th level of hell with Daniel.
Yeah.
Also, the title, The Changeling, I think also kind of works on multiple levels, because in folklore, the Changeling refers to a fairy child who's secretly swapped with a human baby, and they sort of both live in the wrong reality. And I think this sort of perfectly mirrors both Teal'c's dream states and like the physical changing of his symbiote between himself and Braytak, which sort of ultimately leads to his transformation from a symbiote dependent to a Tritonin user.
Well, this is all
Bit of
news to me.
overanalysis there.
Well, I mean, the symbiote dependent too. Yeah. That last part.
So, I mean, there's a bit of foreshadowing here when he says that most often when recovering from an injury, it's like his mind is processing the trauma while he's actually lying wounded on that battlefield.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that shot.
So do I. It's fantastic, that like shift between realities. It's a very clever transition. And I think it's also sort of a brilliant bit of dialogue considering Teal'c's gold emblem. So like he's just said, what? And I just thought it was kind of cool. I also think it's kind of a bit of an interesting detail that they're sitting in front of a fire truck marked T1. This is again me overanalyzing.
The apron.
But considering he's called T in this particular reality, and it's kind of like the first version, anyway.
They never say what his full name is in this reality. It's clearly.
But there's actually he wears a wristband in the hospital, and it says Tyler.
His name is Tyler.
It says Tyler.
We already had one. I didn't like that
don't.
one either.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if that's a call to the film. and like a nod to Jack's son. I'm not sure, but yeah,
I was
it
thinking
says
about
Tyler.
Lieutenant Tyler, which is the guy, the fifth man they had.
Well,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I never knew that, or I forgot.
Yeah, I'll bring it up when it comes to it. But like this firehouse setting actually has like a personal connection to RDA because just before SG-1 he actually executively produced and starred in a 1996 pilot called Firehouse, which was greenlit for 6 episodes and they only made 1. So it was later recut into a TV movie.
So there's a lot of folks in this
1997.
shot here.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. Yep.
Amanda's husband, Alan, I think we just passed him.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little bit behind in my
Just came
notes.
down
He
the
was
pole.
the first one to go down the fire
Yeah.
pole.
Oh, that's really cool.
And Siler
no
opens
idea.
the
And
doors.
Martin Wood was standing behind Tilk when he was talking around that table.
Okay.
Also, you'll notice Coquitlam, the name of the fire
Yes.
station, is mentioned on quite a few of the trucks and also on their gear. And I also wanted to just touch on that. I think it's interesting how this Dreamworld handles everyone's names. So most of the SG team keep their actual names as firefighters. But Braytak becomes Bray and Shornock becomes Shauna.
Yeah.
And Tilk himself is T or T-Man. And like I said, it says Tyler on his medical bracelet. And I think that name might actually be kind of like a nod to Jack's son, as I said, from the original movie. And that whole particular setup is actually a classic example of a trope that's called "But you were there and you," which is from
The little boy in the passenger seat is Christopher Jr.
It's Cameron.
Cameron?
His name is Cameron Judge. Yeah, and
Oh,
he's
I've got the
actually a
wrong
Canadian
son.
professional footballer.
Is it Cameron?
I think it's Cameron.
Let me see.
Also, we missed
I'm
that,
learning so much.
It's Christopher.
Carter,
It's not Cameron.
Carter used it's Christopher. My apologies.
It's Christopher.
I misread it somewhere. It said
That's
Cameron
all right.
in a few places.
I've met him.
Sam made the common. She made that common radio protocol mistake by saying over and out, which is not accurate.
Oh, my dad would agree with you.
So, as I said, I've got a lot of notes for this, and I've tried to get to the most important ones. But we did actually miss a bit of a kind of a, not really a goof, but just like a production bit. When we first saw the trucks coming over the bridge, you could actually see the camera's crane shadow going across the railing on the left-hand side.
Oh, that's quite funny. My brain is overwhelmed with information.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yes, as was
it's a
mine.
meta level story going on here.
Well,
You've got
the-
two
the-
or three
the- many
levels
layers.
The facts
operating
and all these things.
simultaneously.
I'm trying to think about like all the different things, and I'm looking for the people, seeing like
Yeah.
who's guest starring where.
Yeah.
All that is so much
I
working.
think it's sort of meaningful that Tilk's subconscious has cast him as a firefighter in this dream world, because like after years of serving Apophis and causing harm as a first prime, his mind has like placed him in a role purely dedicated to saving lives.
First responder.
And it's like his psyche
Yeah.
is seeking redemption through a profession focused entirely on like protecting others. I also think it's kind of interesting that Apophis had that distinctive System Lord eye makeup,
Oh, yeah.
even in this firefighter reality.
That's how he remembers
And I think
him.
it kind of suggests that Tilk is still carrying a lot of the psychological weight from his like former master's authority.
Oh, Braytak.
Yes. So this is like another brilliant example of how layered the storytelling is. Like we've got Tilk trying to save Braytak in 3 parallel scenarios. Like he's attempting to rescue him from a burning car, he's donating a kidney to his stepfather Bray, and in reality he's keeping Braytak alive
Yeah.
by sharing his symbiote. So like each version sort of reflects the same core truth, like Tilk's willingness to sacrifice himself to save another.
I believe that it's quite possible that at some point on Kreshta, Braytak turned to Teal'c and told him to save himself. And
I think he
he's
absolutely
pulling that
did.
in.
Yep, I think he absolutely did.
I enjoyed the way he said, like, "I'm getting you out, old man." The way he
Yeah.
said "old man," it's like he's had a few snaps at Braytac like
Thank
that in the
you.
past. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've heard him call Braytac that before. So also when Tilk fainted, he kind of fainted straight backwards. In reality, people typically fall forward, but
Ah.
it makes for like a cleaner transition
More
from the
drama.
previous scene. Yeah. I feel like I haven't breathed for like the first
Yeah,
11
me
minutes
too.
of this episode.
I've been listening to you the whole time, and now I'm like, what on earth do I do?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, Sam.
Self-burn. Awkward.
Oh, I love that. The warm milk.
Ugh.
It's funny because
Ice cold,
he
please.
obviously doesn't have a
Yeah.
lactose aversion because he ate ice cream only a few episodes ago.
That's true.
Yeah. Or maybe he doesn't like, well, here's the thing, right? I like eating ice cream, right? But you're not going to see me drinking milk because
It's different, right?
It is
Because there's
different.
different flavors and stuff, and it's more
Yeah.
complex, whereas milk is just straight milk.
Yeah. Ice cream's like
Um,
xanthan gum, a bit of milk, some flavor, ice,
Mhm.
you know, like
But I think the transition between realities where his scrubs change color, I think is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, excellent.
So yeah, no, that was obviously intentional to help the viewers track which reality we're in. But kind of speaking of scrubs, that is technically a goof because as a patient, he'd be wearing a hospital gown, not staff attire, like he is
Yeah.
here.
I never even thought of that.
Because I would love to be wearing this in hospital, but they make you wear that gown with the flappy bits so that
Oh,
they
with
can
the
revive you if
butt
necessary.
out.
Ian Christmas. This is one of my favorite episodes. Is Ian new?
I think Ian might be new. Hello.
If you
Hello,
are
hello.
new, welcome. Welcome.
I think there are a couple people actually saying that this is one of their like favorites. Somebody earlier said it's like top.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it's interesting that he just referenced Western medicine, because like they're apparently two American firefighters, so it doesn't really make sense. But I think it
Mhm.
might be sort of foreshadowing how Tilk will need to abandon traditional Jafar healing methods for the artificial solution of Tritonin.
Mhm.
But again, that's probably me
Respectfully,
overanalyzing.
Evie, I feel like I'm in like an English exam right now with my old English teacher. It's great. I love it. It was my favorite class, so it's a compliment. It just doesn't sound
Okay,
like
This
it
is
was mine
interesting.
too.
This is setting
The banter.
aside Teal'c's perspective in his hallucination. He's not here.
That's true.
It
But
devastates
continues
me
to
that
tick
his
along without him.
wife isn't here.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
I know. Well, I was going to say that this meeting between Jack and Bray is very similar to their first meeting in Bloodlines, where Jack makes comments about Braytac's age, and Braytac keeps referring to humans in this same sort of dismissive manner. And I love how their dynamic sort of stays true even in this dream reality.
Yeah.
Okay, now Shauna, I actually didn't recognize her because I have a
Oh, you
tiny bit of
didn't?
facial blindness, but this was a great opportunity
Yep.
to bring back Musetta Vander as a version of Shinnok. So, in her Darthergate interview, she actually mentioned how excited she was to return and how Martin Wood had a specific vision for this more grounded human version of the character, which it's really interesting how Miss Ada like approached Shauna from like the same emotional foundation as the original Shinnok. So that there's that deep love and concern for Tilk that remains at the character's core, whether she's a Jafar priestess or a firefighter's wife,
Yeah.
which I thought was really sweet. And
There's a little of Sean Ock in there.
Yeah, that was
definitely the my love thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony Amendola, Christopher Judge sort of noted that their on-screen father-son dynamic as Braytac and Tilk kind of mirrors their real life friendship and respect for each other, which was so lovely.
I love how Braytec is the one who cuts through the crap. And it's like, why aren't you burned anywhere?
Absolutely.
You know, you were thrown 20 feet, 10 feet. You know, this
and
is
he
not
just
right.
has a headache. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Ian said, I haven't caught an episode here since season 1. You've been gone a long time. Welcome
Oh,
back. 5 seasons
wow.
later. Hello.
Yes. Season 1 of our show, I imagine, or season
Yeah.
1
I believe
of.
our show. He said here
Yeah, I mean, it would be
specifically.
the same
So,
season, wouldn't it?
yeah.
But yes, we've aged a few years since then. But we like to think that we're wiser and funnier. So
Yeah,
welcome.
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
I wonder if he switches when he switches out the symbiote.
That's a good point. I don't think they really touch on that, but that
Ooh,
is an
David.
interesting theory.
Yeah.
Because Janet does sort of talk about how it may be happening, I think, towards the end of the episode, but I don't think she really mentions directly about the different realities being when the symbiote is switched. But I really like that
I
theory.
think when he's got it, he's here, and when he gives it to Braytak, he drifts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
Like he's more grounded, like he's closest to home when he's got it with him.
Yeah.
Because there's still a part of him that's consciously there on Kreshta, switching
Yeah.
the symbiote out.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we cut to that at some point, though, don't we, during the episode?
We
Yeah.
do, yeah, in a few minutes.
Look what said, Nicole keeps getting younger. I wish. Oh, here
I
comes
love
fun
this
transition.
transition.
Oh, Daniel,
Oh, Daniel. And he looks so handsome. See, it says Tyler. It
There
says
you
Tyler.
go. It sure
Oh,
does.
yeah. Evie,
So-
look at you.
I think it's sort of fascinating how Daniel functions in this episode. So, Michael
Jiminy
Shanks
Cricket.
himself compared it to, yes, he compared it to Forever and a Day in Absolute Power, where Daniel serves as like a spirit guide through Tilk's psychological journey. And many fans believe, obviously, this isn't just dream Daniel we're seeing, it's actually
it's him.
ascended Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cutting
Yeah.
through it. The noise.
And he kind of makes that more obvious towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow he integrates into the hallucination. So on this side of it rather than the SGC side. 20 feet. I was right. Wow.
20 feet, yeah.
Put that down in the trivia. I love Daniel for like forever. He's so sweet. I miss him. I've missed him so much. This is actually making me very
Yeah.
emotional. And the music as
Yeah.
well. Sorry, David.
I can't hear it. It's fine.
What is that little thing? And why is it so cute? You
It's
say a little
just
truck.
like it'd be like a gardener's little vehicle or something.
I love it. I want to drive that.
It is very cute. Get your license before, and then we'll discuss it.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, there is details that Daniel says that he couldn't sort of
Yeah.
possibly have known. And
I mean, if he
he
was
just assumes
subconscious, he
it's
would know that.
Shauna who said
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But like I think Daniel's line is quite brilliant, because while he's like ostensibly talking about T donating a kidney to Bray, it sort of perfectly describes what's happening in reality. Like it's another example of how masterfully this episode weaves its like parallel narratives together with dialogue that works on multiple levels across multiple realities.
Well, he's trying
Because
to
he
keep him
said,
fighting.
You're giving up a part of yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's brilliant.
Once again, sad that Sam didn't get one of these.
I know. I'm still devastated for her character, honestly. And she even mentions it. He's just like, I didn't get a visit.
in the
Yeah.
frustration of of learning that Daniel's been paying visits like Christmas ghosts. He's like, seriously? No one?
Yeah. This lady behind them looks really confused.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
change
why
this,
these guys stopped.
change her trajectory. You know, Daniel would make a very good therapist.
Exactly. That's why it's perfect for him to be in this role. I love him.
Gotta go fight with.
That's the ancients pulling him away.
Yeah, pulling him.
Yeah.
Gotta go fight with Jim.
Oh, yes.
And I love that so much.
Me too.
He's going out there just being like, shut up. Look, I can get slightly involved. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just helping my friend. Be quiet. It's not like he's actually like lifting Teal'c and Braytak out of the battlefield and tossing them through the gate.
No.
You know? So
See, Martin Wood is like some sort of
camera
like,
genius.
Camera genius.
directorial,
Exactly
like,
right.
David, we said the same thing.
That's
That's so weird. That's so we spent too much time together.
This is true. Now, as a viewer, I'm starting to go, okay, what's going on? Especially
Yeah.
when this starts to loop.
Yeah, it gets worse towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think you are. I've had nightmares where I've been like fed on by Wraith before. That's
Really?
not been fun. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've like woken up in the middle of being fed on and I did not like it.
Ew.
Yeah.
I've had Stargate dreams,
Yeah, me
but
too.
nothing Wraith
I get
related.
a couple a year.
I wish mine were like, you know, more positive, like just going through and like eating some nice food and hopefully they're not full of drugs, you know.
I literally had a dream like a few nights ago about Robert Carlyle, and it was amazing. And I
lovely.
wish I could go back to that.
This is
dream.
one of my
Robert
favorite
Filskin
moments in
or
the
Universe?
episode. That a part of Teal'c still
Yes.
believes that in the depths
He's going to see
of
him in the
wherever,
afterlife.
the Apophis will be there waiting for
Oh,
him.
it's so
Yeah.
sad because it comes up again in Avatar, and it always bothers me knowing that Teal'c has some level of fear
It's like
of the Gould
kind
still.
of fear and like guilt or something.
That's
This is his
Gia.
wife. Yes, it's Gianna Patton, who is his girlfriend at the time,
Yep.
but now his wife. And I think I didn't notice this until I was watching it yesterday, but he stumbles into a geriatric ward, which likely represents Teal'c's subconscious fear of aging because the symbiote helps prevent Jafar from aging. So seeing those like elderly patients could symbolize his fear about losing that protection. And like this episode is just so dense with like meaning and
There's
symbolism.
so you could
literally
write
makes
an
me giddy.
essay about this. This is
Yep.
bananas.
I love this transition.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah, this is gonna be great. Oh, hello.
It is good to see Peter again.
It is. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really glad that his character's dead, but like his character showing up in all these little ways is very
Yes.
exciting.
I got sick of him after a while, but we haven't seen him in a while and I've missed him.
Yeah, he's a
So
nice gift.
these transitions between realities are becoming more frequent now and blurred as like the episode progresses, and it's just sort of like real dreams where it becomes increasingly difficult to tell which reality is genuine, exactly what Teal'c himself is experiencing. Oh, his symbiote. He's
Yeah,
taken off
the
his pants
symbiote
in
is
front of his
gone.
friends.
Just his shirt.
Got like some PTSD to Tin Man. It's funny how dependent he is here because it's something that he wants to get rid of so much, but like it's been a part of
It's
him
a part
so
of
long.
him. He doesn't
Yeah.
know anything else.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
here we go.
so the
Finally.
color treatment here really reminds me of Paradise Lost, where they
Yeah.
use like color saturation to help viewers distinguish between reality and Jack's hallucinations. But I think interestingly, they've flipped this technique this time. So the actual reality is the one with the heavy color, like the color treatment and like this red tint washing over everything. And I think it's a clever way to make the brutal truth of this battlefield seem almost surreal.
Yeah.
Also, there's a Jafar in the background that moves.
well, I mean, if they're alive,
I think
maybe
he's
some other
bobbing
Jafar
on
is
the
slightly
on the
alive.
water.
I
Yeah,
don't
maybe.
know. I think he moves initially that first time, and then they kind of make it look like he's just popping on the water. So Tony Amendola points to this beach scene as like a pivotal moment in Braytak and Tilk's relationship. Like,
Yeah, it's
after
beautiful.
all, sharing a symbiote is like the most intimate connection possible between Jafar. And I wanted to mention briefly that Tony said in his Dial the Gate interview that while they were waiting for like the perfect sunset light at Fraser River when they were filming, he actually overheard Chris and Michael anxiously discussing the show's future, and he sort of lightened the mood by pointing to the salmon
salmon
jumping in the
spawning.
river, joking that they were like jumping out to get a look at SG-1. So like his prediction about the show's renewal sort of proved correct.
Yeah.
What do you think he was talking to when he was saying, help me, help me? Himself?
Yeah.
He's talking about, yeah, I think it's to himself. He's sort of just putting it out in the atmosphere. Like, he's just almost trying to communicate like on a different plane, I guess, to the folk at the SGC. You know what I mean?
This scene reminds me a lot of his scene with
his wife.
Dreyok. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Threshold.
Such a good episode. Ian said my Stargate dream was being chased through Atlantis, not too dissimilar from mine. And Dan Ben said I dreamed once about a Wraith and a Klingon in a high school sitting at desks and one of the teeth disappeared and shot lasers through the gap.
Oh my God. That is awesome.
Yeah, I like that
Lasers.
one. I want that dream.
Okay, so I think like subconscious or not, this is like a vulnerable side of Tilk that we rarely see. So though it's not sort of surprising he's feeling this exposed, because in reality, he's literally sharing a piece of himself to save someone else's life.
Mm.
And I think this speech as well kind of sort of echoes Beneath the Surface, where the team are also grappling with like competing versions of reality.
Mm. I always get really scared that, like, what if I have dreams one day that are so real that what if I'm like going between reality and my dream?
What if you
But,
never
like,
wake
I
up
Think
from
about
them?
that too.
Yeah, but I know that when I wake up, I'm awake. But then I'm like, or am I?
Or am
It's
I?
so
Yeah, I'm the
weird.
same. Like, I sometimes think, like, what if I've actually been in like a coma for 15 years and I'm just
Oh.
dreaming that I'm living a real life?
Hey, at least you know it's not. You could be living a worse life, I guess.
Or
Could be better,
simulation
could
theory.
be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I honestly don't remember the last time I had a dream.
You dream every night, but you don't necessarily remember.
Yeah,
Remember it,
sorry,
yeah.
the last time I remember a dream I had, which I
Yeah.
quite like actually. I don't like having lucid dreams unless they're like really sexual. Then I want to I want to remember those ones.
I
They're
want to
great.
remember them.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't take.
No, it didn't take. His body's rejecting it, which is you know, a bit of a bleed through from what's actually happening in reality.
It's wearing out. The symbiote's dying.
But like, I mean, it also gives Bray kind of a moment in this sort of dream version to like echo Braytak's famous like acceptance of death speech. So because he's mentioned like a bunch of times that he's like ready to die. So I think Tilk's like emotional response back kind of reveals how far he is from reaching his mentor's like peace with mortality.
Hmm. I am so glad Braytak doesn't die in Stargate. I'm like really relieved.
Thank you. I remember first watching this with Adam and almost praying that Braytak didn't die. I really wanted him to stick around, and every time that he was like missing for, you know, extended periods, I just kind of thought he was dead and I was a bit scared. And then when he came back and realized he wasn't dead, I was just so relieved, and I'm so happy that he lived out the entire
We talked
series.
about this
Yeah.
with Tony around season 8 in a Gate World interview, and he said, if I have to go, I want to go out with a bang.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm glad they kept him around. Also, I don't know if this is significant, but the door number is 111.
Yep.
So it kind of feels too perfect not to be symbolic of the three realities that we're dealing with in this episode.
That English essay is getting real deep.
I told you I overanalyzed
This is
everything.
great. This is excellent. I wish I overanalyzed things more.
Also, a little bit during this scene, Daniel and Tilk's hand position sort of changed between camera angles without actually like having any movement. But it's barely noticeable.
Hmm.
Humanly possible.
Great question. Yeah.
Yeah, and who told you that?
Yeah, why isn't he there just on the beach? Why has he compartmentalized all this?
Yeah. Well, it's almost, I guess, like dreaming for, for humans. It's sort of just a way to keep your mind occupied.
Yeah.
So I guess it's sort of kind of similar to what he's going through. His mind is trying to distract him from the trauma of real life.
But what's interesting is Daniel's not trying to pull him out. He's trying to maintain the narrative. So part of Daniel thinks that this is somehow functionally appropriate.
Maybe.
Or it could be that they're just
Or maybe
pulling
it's
this
almost
along to make the
dangerous to
episode
pull him
work.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, Jonas.
Yeah, it's almost like he's playing along like you might with uh I'm trying to put it delicately, like with someone who maybe has dementia, like Alzheimer's or something. You sort of just you just kind of indulge them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Here's a doozy, Doc. We go to other planets.
Yeah, through a big ring.
I think this is a little too much on the nose explaining to the audience. I think the audience can figure it out. Symbiote,
Yeah.
kidney. That's my only complaint, if any, with this episode.
Bit obvious.
I don't know. I think it kind of works. I think a lot of this episode is sort of left the audience to interpret. So I think to have just this tiny, tiny segment that's sort of a little bit more obvious, I think is okay. Yes, Daniel's about to
Well, in this,
drop
yeah, in
some
this
Drop
case,
knowledge.
the
neither of them
truth
are
bomb.
real. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what he's about to say is like a key line that really captures the episode's essence. This line,
Yeah.
maybe neither one is real.
Which would mean that you're not real, necessarily.
Yeah. He's the only thing that's real.
Maybe this is his way of pulling him out. Because
Yeah, I think
once
it
he
might be.
considers the truth, he begins to see himself on the ramp.
Yep. That's true.
Supine, not ready for battle.
Yeah. What do you do in the situation, Teal'c?
Hang in there.
Doesn't he say that to Jack? He says
Yeah.
that exact
Yeah.
Yeah, he
line
tells
to
him to
Jack
wait.
and Abyss.
Like in both situations, he's only. What I love is that Daniel's not coming to interfere. He's coming to help them in a situation in which
Yeah.
they are going to be able to get themselves out of it. They just need the hope.
Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. So his words are kind of like a pickaxe, like he's chipping away at Tilk's dream state to help him surface back to reality.
Here we go.
Also, I think Tilk's earlier casual mention of Jack picking him up proves pathetic. Like he was talking to
Yeah.
Shauna about whether he remembers having the operation, and he said that O'Neill picked him up. So I think what seemed like a metaphorical phrase in a firefighter reality kind of became literal. Like I imagine Jack sort of physically rescued Tilk from the battlefield and helped carry him through the gate. And I think also General Hammond's appearance sort of confirms that we're back in the true reality because he hasn't appeared in any of the other versions.
Well, also we've completely cut away from Teal'c now, so we're actually experiencing
Yep.
the real world. Because
Yep.
if not, we'd be seeing this from Teal'c's perspective.
Well, we did see Shauna and Jack and Bray talking alone in the
Talking
hospital.
amongst
So
themselves.
I
That's a
wasn't
good point.
wasn't really sure, but I think at this point in the episode, yeah,
There's so much
this
focus on
time
the
left.
conversation.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I remember that being my indicator. I was like, oh, this is it, because that we've spent so long here now, like been over a minute here, no Teal'c, no nothing. So
But it's almost kind of like oh my God, I can't remember the name of the episode, but with the keeper, and you just like, are we in our own reality?
Gamekeeper.
Or is this
Yeah.
the gamekeeper's
Yeah.
reality?
Each of the shows, have this. Atlantis has it with Weir in the real world.
I hate that episode.
Oh, jeez. SGU has it with Cloverdale. Sooner or later.
I don't like
where am
episodes
I?
that make me question whether the show is entirely real. This one I don't mind because I'm so confident on it being Teal'c's
Yeah.
hallucination. But like Buffy had an episode that made me entirely question if Buffy was even like real in its own universe, and I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine. They toyed with ending it from a hallucination from one of the characters, Ben Sisko.
How dare they?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I can't do that. For me, the show's got to exist in the reality of the show. Otherwise, what was the point in committing so hard to it?
Yeah.
Like if we ended Stargate SG-1 and they were like, and it was all a dream, I'd be like, that's
someone
it.
woke up and it was a dream, you just like
I'd lose it.
like
I'd
like if
absolutely
Martin
lose
woke
it.
up or something.
Yeah. Imagine. I'd be furious.
Or Joe the barber.
Oh God.
Also, Tilk has like his intensity of shivering kind of changes between shots. Like it's more visible in close-ups, but sort of dissipates in wider shots.
You think it's a shiver?
It's kind of like convulsions, I
Yeah,
guess.
he's convulsing. He's still in and out.
He is, yeah. But like Jonas's, he says you made me feel like one of the team, and Jonas made that almost identical comment to Tilk in the firefighter reality. And I think it kind of brings the
Just prompted
episodes
it.
like multiple realities
Yeah.
sort of full circle, which I think is quite perfect.
Exactly, yeah.
Dan
Do
Ben
you
actually mentioned
think-
the episodes we were talking about. That's quite funny.
You think the scene at the beginning of the episode is actually this moment?
No, I don't think it's this moment.
Yeah,
but
because it was
I
before
just-
the surgery.
It was before the surgery, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just love how the comment at the very beginning in a different reality has sort of bled through to this reality.
I feel like
love it.
also dreams can sometimes be a bit prophetic. It can happen
I
sometimes.
agree.
So,
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's take what Egeria's sacrificed and use it to
Yes.
save and free the
Ground
Jafar.
Gould, as Jack says. Make it sound like a seasoning. Ground gould. Just mix it in with your pasta.
But the fear is it'll get them stuck on it, and then they'll never be able to go back.
Well, it's no different than being reliant on a symbiote, I think is what Jacob's point is.
I do really love the way that the Tok'ra, like, it's been their focus to save the Jafar.
Yes.
From like, this is such a positive way for the Tok'ra to be looking at the Jafar instead of wanting to just kill them. They're like, how do we save them from
Well,
their
they're
servitude?
relying on symbiotes as well. but I
Yeah.
mean, they rely on them for good, but still. But I think, like, unlike a typical reset button in episodes that exist in isolation like this, like, fans appreciate how the Changeling connects its dream sequences to significant developments in the main storyline.
Yep.
Obviously, particularly through the transition to Tritonin.
I love Janet's resistance.
Yes.
You know,
Well,
she's
she has
just
to.
exploring the angles, and then she arrives at, I've got 2 people about to die on my table right now.
Yes, she's a
Well, this is the
medical
beginning
professional, and it's
of
literally her only option.
Jafar freedom. Let's go.
No,
Let's be free. This is
No
actually
junior.
such a big moment for the show.
Yeah.
it's a massive moment, and we're about to see the return of the ethereal sweater. Are
I
you
love the
ready?
ethereal sweater. Oh, it's so pretty. There it is. I love it.
So I think in the episodic analysis for the companion on this episode, the author David McKee argues that this episode is less about the dream and more about Tilk's internal struggle. Like, by confronting his mortality and challenging reality, Tilk sort of sets the stage for his future growth as a leader, and the ambitious resolution offers no easy answers, like making it a uniquely thought-provoking sort of character study.
Yeah.
And my theory that I was going to bring up, so like you guys, viewers also debated how Tilk could create such an accurate portrayal of American firefighter culture in his dreams. And some suggested, he might have learnt from sort of television shows, which is what we discussed. But my personal headcanon is that Tilk caught RDA's Firehouse pilot and used it as a blueprint for this for this dream.
I love that.
And I think despite like the complexity of this episode, it has sort of become a fan favorite. And I think it's sort of celebrated for its like sophisticated storytelling and its nuanced performances. And sort of viewers praise the episode's depth, noting
Daniel's
its like
death music's so good.
remarkable rewatchability and like ability to respect the audience's intelligence by refusing to provide easy explanations.
Yeah.
I also kind of thought it was an interesting parallel with the Doctor Who episode Amy's Choice, when she's pregnant, but she doesn't realize she's pregnant. It's like, it's huge.
The fetus?
Yes. Yeah, it's so in Doctor Who, I just watched it recently. It's in the Matt Smith era. She's pregnant in real life with the baby that turns out to be River Song. But she thinks that she's not pregnant and she's going about having adventures, but in reality she's actually been captured and she's had the baby in like captivity essentially. But it's like, it's this massive break because you don't see it coming.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Well, this is a great show. I'm really glad that I got to see it with you guys. And
yeah.
it's a good one.
Agreed.
The Changeling, everyone. Hello.
Hello. Randall Wong just pointed out again, Ascended Daniel visits 2 of the team, but not Carter. Yeah, I'm forever miffed.
Absolutely heartbroken for Carter. I would feel as sort of
FOMO.
singled out in a bad way as she does.
Yeah.
Daniel wasn't in a position to remember when he came back. But part of me does think that he was there at some point for her. She may not have had a catastrophic moment like this.
Yeah.
But I do believe he visited her and she just doesn't recall it.
He could have been the one that comforted her when Jack was stuck with Harry.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought that maybe
instead of Tilk. Although I do love that.
I would have liked
Tilk.
Daniel in the corner, just kind of hovering over them, just being like, they'll be okay.
Floating.
And then that's it. Yeah, peace out.
But I guess it wasn't kind of really a sort of, in both occasions where Daniel has appeared, it's sort of been almost in a life or death situation.
That's correct.
That wasn't really a life or death situation. So
No.
it might have felt a little bit forced.
Hey, if Phantomonium is going to do another one, Stargate novels, do a story where Daniel visited Sam and then wiped her wiped her memory of it because it was so traumatic or whatever. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, I like that. You know what, Nicole?
I'm realizing I really love Teal'c's trauma episodes. They're just really interesting. It's Threshold is one of my favorite episodes of the whole show because you get to see the way the reason that Teal'c is the way he is and how because his moment in Children of the Gods always did feel a bit fast, but it's years of build up from Braytak. And the way that Threshold built it up is so beautiful. And this is just another deep dive into his psyche. Avatar is a little light touch into his mind. The thing that makes Teal'c so interesting, I think, is that he doesn't really tell you much about what he's thinking or feeling on the surface. He keeps it all quite buried and suppressed. So whenever like we do deep dives into his mind, he's so complicated and fascinating and wonderful. And like the core of Teal'c is that he's a good person. He's just been through a lot of stuff. And I absolutely love it. I you know what? Yeah, this episode, I had never really loved it growing up, but like I'm loving it more and more as I get older. Before I say my rating, I think David's mum's in the chat. Mum and dad here. A good job. Hi girls. Hi son. Hello.
Hello.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
there she
definitely
is.
there. Your mum's
Hello, Mom
there,
and
yeah,
Dad.
for sure.
I think that this episode, I think especially the analysis that Yvie gave, made me really think about it on so many other levels. And the return of Daniel. I've never really watched the show so in order that I've missed Daniel this much because I'm so used to I just went straight there. Like I saw season 7 after season 5. I saw the end. I saw the Lost City, and I went, "When did Daniel come back? What the hell is this? What's a head sucker?" Because I hadn't seen season 2 by that point, so I didn't know what anything was. So I didn't miss Daniel like I am right now. So I'm gonna give this one a 6. I really enjoyed it. It was probably gonna be a 4 or a 5 before. So I think it's gone up a few levels with you guys around. I think it's fantastic. It's really, really good. I really enjoyed it. No Threshold, because Threshold's like, that was a 7 for me, but this is damn close. So yeah.
Okay. I love this show.
Yes.
It moves the Jaffa story forward in a meaningful way. It plays with our perception of reality and uses metaphor very well to configure the story. The performances are wonderful. The guest stars are they really drive it home. Everyone you can see is pulling together to make Christopher's episode something that's top shelf. This is a 6 for me. So I went back and checked my rating for Threshold. That was a 6 as well. This is a 6 too.
Wow. Yeah, this episode for me is definitely very close to being pretty perfect. I think the story is absolutely brilliant, and I love the way that Martin Wood executed it as a director, and I love all the little nuanced details. Obviously, we already know that I'm a huge fan of symbolism. Whether it's there deliberately or not is not really the point. But I really enjoyed going into a deep dive with this from pretty much 12 hours on Saturday. I analyzed this to heck, but I loved it. I loved it. And talking about it with you guys as well is like the little cherry on my Sunday. So I think
both Sundays, because it's Sunday for me right now.
I think I will also be giving it a 6. I think for Chris's like first like full story credit, it's pretty phenomenal, and I think it's the best way for them to move that Jafar story ahead by leaps and bounds. Like we've seen almost sort of no development. It's sort of just been crawling, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
And every time the Jafar take a few steps forward, they're then knocked back a few steps.
On their asses.
And exactly. And it's really great to see them just skyrocket
and the
forward
Tok'ra
with
helped.
this massive.
Yeah,
I
the
know.
Tok'ra helped.
I know, which I think is also lovely because, you know, we've seen that conflict between the two sides for so long, even when they were, you know, having to camp together in that previous episode. But this is almost like them sort of reaching with an olive branch, but an olive branch made of Tritonin.
Of crushed up gold.
Ground up gold.
With ground gold.
Ground gold.
You got to start
Yum,
somewhere.
yum.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's 6. I think I mentioned before for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's near perfect.
I'm sorry,
It's-
Nicole, what
it's
did
an
you say?
Amazing show.
I said 6 as well. We're
Okay.
six across the
So
There we go,
board.
6
it's
across the
a
board.
terrible that we're 666, but yeah.
Yeah, but not in that context. Yeah.
Evie literally went to hell and back.
All
Oh,
right.
dear.
Well, Tilk went to hell and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think it's great. I also want to say, Evie, I really did enjoy the first 5 minutes. I was overrun because you were rife with information. My brain was like, I can't talk because
Just back off.
I'm
Let her
trying
go
to
through, 'cause she's- the
I was
train
like,
is a-chugging.
"What?" And
I felt I could feel myself picking up speed.
yeah.
I didn't even finish my coffee, which I usually do in the first episode.
When
'Cause I
you
was
stopped
breaks so
talking,
much.
I was like, "Is Evie done? What do I say after all of that?" So I just couldn't. I drew a blank. I was like, "I have nothing. I'm processing everything Evie's just told me."
Oh, that would explain the
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to say. My brain no work. It's short circuited.
My brain no work.
No work. I don't do
Oh,
words
funny.
good. Okay,
All
right. So,
Are you ready for Memento?
I've got to read everyone else's ratings, David.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Proceed,
jumping
please.
ahead like
We're
Jafar
having
with the
two-
Tritonin.
We're having too much fun talking.
Yeah, I'm getting lost. Go ahead.
That's all good. I'll be fast with all my doo-doo-doops. So let's do
My
it.
doo-doo-doos.
This is 7 out of 7. Great story. Transitions are chef's kiss. Plus it has everyone, including Daniel, Janet, Jacob, etc. Yeah, the dads are in the house. Love it. Anthony, I'm giving this episode a 5. I like it, but it's not my favorite. Jacob, 7 chevrons. This episode is constructed and filmed in such a brilliant, unique way that it's truly one of a kind, and great acting, music, guest stars, humor. It's just so good. My top of SG-1. Homo Purple, SG-1, season 6, episode 19, Changeling. I give it 5.6. So no halvesies, 6 chevrons overall. So thank you, Homo Purple, for confirming no halvesies. Jean Diada, a good 6. Dan Ben, 5 out of 7. Like the episode, but it's not my favorite. Shimmer Victoria, 6. When I first watched it, I wondered why Janet only appeared in the SGC, even though a lot of the firefighters' side takes place in a hospital. That's interesting, actually. That's very interesting. I didn't even consider that. Jed Ted, 6 chevrons. Log Watchers is a 6. This episode sets the stage for Teal'c transition to no longer being dependent on the symbiote. It was great to see Janet's return, with or without her little flashlight. Yes. Gecko Fett, 6 out of 7 for me. It's really good and high on the rewatch list. Raj Luther, my racing for Changeling episode is 6 out of 7 chevrons. A nice story showing a son trying to save their father like moment. This episode is close to my own personal experience. I hope that it's a positive experience, or at least one you look on somewhat fondly, or something. Because that sounds sad. Candy Mitch, 7, and did it? Didn't I? Did it? Didn't mean to do it. All right, and we're done. That was it. I do scrolling.
We need like a bingo card. We need.
I
Like,
had to stop it.
Nicole mentions her age. Tick. Nicole
Yeah.
says, "Do
We're not
tick."
drinking. Yeah.
I did it on my other podcast. I caught myself doing it. I was reading through something and I was like,
It's just automatic.
I've never noticed it until you just pointed out the other day, and now I'm like, holy crap! I do it I did it at work the other day. I was like, stop it.
It's good to have your fillers pointed out, you know. And
Yeah, you know
and
what?
Your ticks.
Oh, it's
I
adorable.
regularly scratch myself when I'm talking.
I love
my
it.
folks
You
say
always
I've
have a
done
back
this since
scratcher.
I was little. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Aw.
yes, but I mean like my hair. You know,
Well,
I start
I
itching
rock.
when I start talking.
You'll know,
Yeah.
like
You
even
rock?
when I've watched back some of our episodes, I'm doing this, and my
Yeah.
mum says that I've done it since I was young. I used to
Okay.
stand in front of the TV with one foot in front of the other and just rock back and forth, like trying
Uh-huh.
to soothe myself. And I
I
still
like
do
that.
it to this day, and I have to actively think about not doing it. So
With
Yeah,
one foot
I've
in
got
front of
my
the other
legs
when you're standing. You still
going
do that?
mental right now.
no,
the
it's sort of
Oh,
more of
but
a
when you're
sitting
sitting,
thing
you're
now.
talking. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
People
It's like
fiddle
we all
with
have
their
our little
fingers,
things.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're nervous. It's a nervous energy.
The nervous tick,
Yeah.
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 We're all nervous to be here, guys.
Well, to a
I'm
certain
joking.
degree, we're all got a spotlight on us. So, and you
Exactly,
don't know
we're
when
all
the camera
exposed to a
is
certain
on you or
extent.
not. You know, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's pointed
It's
away.
true.
I'm the only one who has control over that. Thank you.
Oh.
All right.
Nicole, you're fat.
The wonderful Memento. Let's go ahead. And,
I've seen this episode once. once.
Yeah,
So
really?
Yeah,
I'm
All right.
not excited.
wonderful.
Interesting.
In italics.
I'm a big fan of a couple of the guest stars, but we'll get into that.
I will say,
Oh,
Lock Watchers
sure,
just
yeah.
use the classic joke that is reoccurring now, which is Memento is a great car audio episode. One of
Car
these.
Well, let's go out for a gallon of
Oh.
milk and enjoy it with us. All right,
Yeah.
guys.
Ah.
Memento. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3. My name is David, and you're watching Wormhole Extremists along with Yvie
Hello.
and Nicole.
Hello.
And this is Star Trek SG-1.
Yes, I was gonna say, like, a lot of people on Reddit said that these opening Prometheus scenes had a very distinct Star Trek vibe.
It's our first spaceship.
Oh,
And we're
yay.
going to ditch him in the Delta Quadrant. Oops, sorry, across the galaxy.
Also, I wanted to mention the two sort of prominent guest stars in this episode. So we've got John Novak and Ingrid Cavaliers.
Mhm.
So they two guest stars that sort of made their debut in this episode. John Novak steps into the role of Colonel William Ronson, and we'll see him again in Grace next season.
Yep.
And also Ingrid as Major Erin Gant, and she'll also return in Grace and also Lost City Part 2. I love
He
kind of
commands
this
this ship.
the clash of the colonels.
Yeah.
Like Reddit discussions sort of highlighted this fascinating tension between Jack and Ronson. So it's sort of a classic clash of leadership styles, I think.
Yeah. Well, one guy's the
Because
captain and the
Ronson
other guy
runs-
isn't, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like Ronson runs the Prometheus kind of like a traditional Navy vessel.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like he's all protocols and clear chain of command, and Jack sort of brings like his sort of special ops background and years of off-world experience to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's disappointing that they didn't establish a ship patch yet, that those only came later, which is too bad, because I would have loved to have a
Yeah.
Prometheus
Yeah.
patch in my collection.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
So I think a bit of a fun fact, apparently when this episode hit DVDs, the packaging accidentally labeled this flagship vessel as the X-53 instead
Really?
of the X-303. And it's apparently one of the few times that official merchandise error sort of has slipped through unnoticed.
What
I
region
was
was
almost
this?
going to get... Sorry?
What region was that in?
I don't know what region. I
Oh.
couldn't find what region it was, but I almost wanted to get either you or Nicole to go
I'll look
through
at my
like your
DVDs.
DVDs
Yeah.
and see if
I don't
it's
have
there.
mine anymore.
I've got mine
Yeah.
upstairs. I'll take a look.
Okay.
It might have been a very, very early.
I was going to say,
early
Evie,
version.
please fill us with all the fun facts possible. Fill this episode.
Yeah,
please.
Nicole, any chance to
I
get away
don't
from
have
this
as many
episode?
pages of notes.
Yeah.
I have 13 pages versus like 18 or 20 that I
okay.
had with the previous
Okay,
episode.
I'll take
Also,
that.
keep an eye on the scientist in the background. That's Damien Kindler, who is
Oh,
the
it is!
episode's writer,
Oh,
making
yeah.
a cameo appearance.
I missed. Oh, it is Damien on Hammer's
Yeah,
side.
he stays in screen like the entire
Yeah.
time, looking important and a little bit sidetracked.
Are they? How are they communicating right now?
Just
Oh, they're in
signaling or
orbit over
something.
Earth.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no, it's not Earth.
It's not Earth.
Oh, maybe it's Earth.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, maybe it's Earth.
Okay.
because
I was
they're
going to
about
say,
to
if
go
not,
into
time,
space.
you know,
Yeah.
like they'd be having to do that whole Zulu thing from a bajillion miles away.
Well,
so-
right, exactly. Time lag, and here we go.
And whoop.
And she's off to save the day.
It's so blue in here. Fix the lighting, guys. Jeez.
It is very blue.
Yeah, it is blue.
I'm
Well, they
feeling
wanted a
depressed just
difference
looking
from,
at
like,
it.
the gold, and they wanted a tonal change. So
Okay, so you have to watch Colonel Ronson's rank insignia on his left shoulder is actually upside down.
It's
this
upside
entire
I can see
down.
that right now,
episode.
yeah.
oh no, they sewed it on wrong.
Dear.
I actually brought up like what a rank of a colonel, what it actually looks like, and compared it, and you can see it sort of more here. It's sort of a little bit out of focus, but you can tell it's upside down.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wings are pointing
Also, you can.
down.
I think, I mean, Jack is quite twitchy here. Like you can see him getting like angsty and
Yeah.
like from taking a back seat while Ronson runs the show. And I think sort of it's subtle but telling glimpse into how Jack's sort of casual attitude masks his deep-seated need to actively be involved and useful.
Mm.
It's always been my excuse every time there's an incoming wormhole at the SGC. If they're not if they're not on a mission, SG-1 is first down. Like, what's going on? What's going on? It's like, shouldn't you be like home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like barbecuing.
They're never home. And
They
even Jack, like as much as he says, you know, to Sam that she needs to have a better work-life balance, he is at the SGC a lot.
Yeah.
I think he struggles with it as well. I mean, to be fair, right? If you always had like the potential of impending doom around the corner, I'd struggle to stay at home too.
That's true. Yeah,
The hyperspace drive has a surge protector.
it does. So I think it's like you kind of notice Jack's sort of subtle preferences in leadership right now. So while his relationship with Jonas has definitely grown in the last couple of episodes, his instincts still default to Sam and Tilk. So he called only Sam and Tilk to the bridge and not Jonas. And like he sort of like Jonas has to take like his own initiative to join this sort of hyperdrive investigation himself. And Jack might, I think, still be sort of mentally typecasting Jonas as like the team's archaeologist, despite the fact that he's literally proven himself like technically able, you know, from the Prometheus incident. And I think it's sort of interesting oversight, especially considering how capable Jonas was in that episode with the ship systems, you know, during that encounter. So
I would still see Jack would have him be like, okay, great, you're great in these areas. I still need you to be in your lane for most of the time.
Maybe. So. But he didn't even acknowledge him. He didn't call him to the bridge.
Yeah, what the hell's Tilk gonna do at the bridge? You know,
Tilk's his wingman,
almost like the muscle. Yeah.
Stuart Miller said, "I'm watching on MGM Plus through Amazon Prime, and it says the error in the episode description of the whatever you said, Yvie, about the designation of the ship being wrong."
Oh wow, there you go.
Oh, cool. Okay,
that's in the UK, so.
So the Prometheus's lack of system redundancy sort of sparked quite a debate on Reddit. So some fans sort of compared it to single-engine fighter jets, while others questioned the logic of space travel without backup systems, which is logical.
Candy Mitch has now said Canada's DVD has X-53 on the 2006 box set release.
Oh wow!
It's everywhere.
That's a big boo-boo.
A lot of boo-boos. Uh-oh. Cartouche? It's been a while since we heard Cartouche.
We should make it into a drinking game.
It's bizarre. It's like we stopped referencing the Cartouche yonks ago because they were well,
maybe that's why they brought it back.
Yeah.
Well,
because we stopped relying on it.
Inside the cartouche are the coordinates for each location, so it's relevant right now.
It's something that we just haven't referenced in so long. So
like
it's very interesting.
Embarkation room.
Yeah. I don't think it's other than Sergeant Harriman, medical team to the embarkation room. I don't think that was ever technically used.
No.
I feel like I know we've been pulling things from the cartouche since like day one. It's just been so long since it's been referenced. I'm really, you know what? I love that. Yay.
Yep, short jump. I'm only able to also do a short jump. So that's Ray Galletti playing Major Peter DeLuise, but with an O. So obviously the character's name is a clever nod to the director.
Very
who is directing this episode.
Wow. So clever.
Just throw an O in there.
Oh.
Jed Ted, the first Mass Effect uses a lot of blue tinting. BioWare artists say blue works for sci-fi. That's an adage for visual effects artists. I forget the exact wording. When in doubt, make it blue.
Yeah, so
But
much
yeah.
of Mass Effect is actually blue now that you've thought about it. I also didn't like the filter back then in Mass Effect 1. It was particularly dark in all the buildings. Okay, like, I guess because 2007, they were still figuring it out. Later
Yeah.
on, they add some light.
So
There's a reuse of a shot there. Yeah.
The shot of
Exactly.
the reactor core
Simmons.
being ejected actually kind of creates a significant continuity error with the ship's established layout, because
Yeah.
in Prometheus, that specific port was shown to be an airlock.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So they just moved it upstairs and pushed it out the airlock.
Yep.
I can't wait till we're done messing with the wacky Naquadah.
Well, it's at some point established that the Goa'uld don't use Nequadria. You know,
Yeah, because it's
Carter
so bloody
used-
unstable.
thought that it
Silly.
was the missing link for how they can make their motherships go to hyperspace, but it's not.
It's just moldy Naquadah.
Holy Naquadah.
Yeah.
It's Naquadah on coke.
Yeah. Moldy.
Moldy.
No dear.
Did no
Love the
one
word
bother to look
bogies.
down?
I was gonna say, somebody just get some life signs detectors, slap that down there, ring down, do something.
Were they looking at the planet at all?
No,
don't
I think they
know.
just
I mean, they're
jettisoned
trying
the
to
damn
find
thing.
themselves, I guess. Less
Like, they know
concerned
the
about what's
planets
out
on
there.
the Abydos cartouche. They know it's probably inhabited because that's usually the rule of.
At some point, there
you
was
know?
someone down there using a gate.
Yeah, yeah. So like, come on, guys, use your brain. Got the colors in here, the greens and the reds.
Uh-huh.
Christ.
Well, it looks
Well,
like a
red is an
a
urgent
submarine.
sort of color.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm actually really proud of Jack and the way he handles himself in this,
Oh, yeah?
this message. Yeah, I think he does a really good job because he's not known for his diplomacy, but
This is true.
I think he comes across quite personable.
Chibi Me said, I think a better drinking game is how many times the instability of the Nequadria is said from its inception.
Let's talk to them.
A lot. Is it, will they? Or what if our frequencies don't send the same way other people's do? But never mind.
We put that aside.
I'm going to pick so many holes in this episode because I've just never liked it. So much so I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
I might really like it, but from you guys' reaction, I don't think so.
And he's speaking in English.
Yes. Well, the
Stargate
Prometheus
don't have time to
translates.
translate. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Sure. I love the translator microbes in Farscape. I wish that we had something like that in Stargate.
Yeah. Well, it's like the TARDIS being able to translate.
Yeah.
Right.
Something small like that would
Yeah.
fix a lot of the holes in this show.
Very difficult. But
But
don't you think he's doing a good job,
is.
though? I
Yeah,
think
I
he's doing
think
a good
yeah,
job.
this is his most
Diplomatic.
diplomatic moment. Please stop firing.
He's he's like Deloise with an O.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You can see the name badge.
Someone's listening.
Yep.
Mm.
Thank goodness. Even if it is
Yeah.
bloody Kelphus. So Jack's sarcastic delivery here like reminds me of there's this moment in Frasier when someone leaves a cabin door open in the woods and Niall says something like, why don't we just send engraved invitations to all the bugs in the forest? It just reminds me of that. It's like the perfect
Oh,
blend
Niles.
of wit and exasperation.
Oh gosh.
Love it.
Also, watch the position of Jack's P90. So the weapon's muzzle actually intersects with the ring's materialization zone.
Ooh, okay. I thought you were about to say to watch the position of Jack's something else.
Oh, well,
Oh, it sure did. Look at that.
You watch this.
Very cool.
Also, keep an eye on the horizon behind Jack. In just a moment, you'll spot some modern cars cruising along the highway in the background.
Oh, you're joking.
Or could they be
Keep an eye on it.
Tegrian cars?
Oh yeah, I mean they got cars.
Oh, yeah.
Look, right there, they got one. Oh yeah, car.
See?
I see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. But it could easily be a Tegrian vehicle.
Absolutely.
Hello,
So this
Michael
is
Ironside
Miguel.
/ Carmen Argenziano.
Yes.
He's like their son. Yeah.
Yeah, Miguel Fernandez as Commander Kalfas, and he actually worked with RDA previously, back in '86 in an episode of MacGyver.
Here we go.
Wish he got a better
Also,
episode than
the
this.
SMGs Kalfas's men are carrying will actually show up again in Atlantis as Jedi weapons.
Ooh.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also you'll notice the German Flecktarn camouflage on the local soldiers.
Yeah, okay.
They got a train and everything.
Robert
Wow.
Foxworth.
It is
I
Robert
love him.
Foxworth.
I would love to
He's
have him
great
on.
in this.
It's the table.
It's the
They bring that
table
to Atlantis
back.
at some point.
Yeah.
So, Robert brings quite the sci-fi pedigree.
He does.
As both a Starfry. What is Starfry? Star Trek alum, and the voice of Ratchet in the Transformers films.
I want some star fries. Yum yum.
Yeah, Starfry sounds great right now. I could use some like deep fried stuff.
Me said Tegrian cars definitely. I mean, look at how universal military armored convoys are in the galaxy.
Right.
If I had a nickel.
You got to use something, all right?
So I think Chairman Ashwin sort of stands out from the world leaders we typically meet in Stargate. We often sort of encounter suspicious and hostile politicians, but Ashwin sort of brings a refreshing blend of level-headed diplomacy and I think genuine compassion. And I think his optimistic sort of big picture thinking during this particular crisis sort of makes him quite unique in this sort of first contact scenario. But then you've got Kalfas to balance that out, so...
You couldn't do this type of a story until you had a spaceship episode where we can actually visit a planet that has not discovered their Stargate or has buried their Stargate, so that we can see things from their side. Oh yeah, this thing must exist somewhere, or it did, or the Gould could have taken it, as they sometimes do.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, these people are actually pretty advanced. I forgot how advanced they were.
They are very advanced, yeah.
Well, they're the type of science people that just refuse to believe in the Stargate. Oh yay, goody.
So I love this from Jack. So where did you see it last? It's always in the last place you look.
Well, there is now a shred of evidence because you have literal off-worlders showing you a picture of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just to also the last time you saw it kind of thing, or last place you look. Yeah, we found ours in bloody Antarctica.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
the spare ones. So I mean, could be anywhere.
Just look under things, people.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been cool if every planet had a spare? Instead of just updating the Stargates, like those originals, they just all issued version 2.1s on all the planets and just discarded the old ones in the ocean.
Yeah. You guys just said the stone unturned, like lift every stone, look underneath. Made me think of that. Do you hear about King Richard III being found in a car park in the UK? They supposedly,
his remains.
Yeah, so his so he died like 500 years ago, but his remains got like lost to history due to like someone making up some lie. They never realized he was still buried in the same spot,
and they identified him.
And and some random people looked back 500 years ago where he used to be buried and found him in the car park, and he was buried right underneath a giant like R or something in the car park.
Wow.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They were like,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it could be in a very obvious spot.
So, kind of I guess an interesting observation from Reddit. Commander Kalfas's hostile reaction to aliens kind of mirrors how some Earth civilians might react without the perspective of the Stargate program provides.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know, a radio playing rock and roll in the background would really make this scene pop. I'm just saying. If they were all going through
I
text
wouldn't be
together,
opposed.
music helps the search go better.
It does.
I
Though I think
can't
the only
listen to
time-
music while I'm studying.
No?
Oh, I have
No.
to. I listen to
Adam has to.
Yeah, I listen to the Halo 3 ODST soundtrack. I find it very soothing. There's no singing in it at all. So, and just Sant, which is another game I like. Again, no singing, very calming. They're both very about water. There's a lot of water featuring in both of them. So,
if I'm editing transcripts for dialthegate.com, and if you would like to help me edit, reach out to dialthegateshow@gmail.com. Thanks to Jacob Olihars and a few others here who are already doing that. I'm always having music on. So, but when I'm editing clips for the show, I can't because I have to listen to the sound. So,
yeah.
Well, that's true. That's absolutely true.
Jacob
First
said the
world
King
problems.
Richard III thing was in Lincoln, is where he was found. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think that's really cool. I'll send you a video about it at some point. It's actually very fascinating.
Let's just give him a little dinner.
A barbecue.
Jack's response to Sam. Oh, I love him so much.
Do we have a barbecue?
You can make one, right? They've got enough like fire.
easy
They
enough.
could
Stuff
probably
like
pull
that.
it off, I bet.
Yeah.
But depending on what kind of meat they have on their planet.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So, okay, so the series milestone here is kind of significant. So 133 planets visited
Wow.
over 6 years, with this being the 130th broadcast episode. So that sort of suggests that there's sort of unchronicled missions that expand the show's universe beyond what we've seen on screen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The Incaran mission is an example of that, where we know that
true.
they've
We
been
didn't
working
see
with
the
them
first
before until we
contact.
see them. Yeah.
Yes. Also, I love that for a member of a secret society, Tarek's reconnaissance skills could have used some work. He's so bad
not
at
subtle.
keeping an eye on them while not keeping an eye on them.
Jacob said it's Leicester, not Lincoln. That makes sense. I was thinking L, but I wasn't sure which one it was. Yes. Thank you.
I do not look at that and say Leicester.
No, no one does. It's just freaking British.
The
How would you say
IC,
that?
but there's an IC in there.
Yeah, how would you
Yeah.
say it,
And
David? I want to hear it.
Leicester.
Yeah. People say like Leicester or
Leicester
It's
is
like
what that
Worcestershire
says.
sauce.
something. Yeah, it's Leicester.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just, geez, people.
No, to be fair, right? Half our words make sense, half our words don't. That's just part of the fun of English. isn't it?
And half of ours over here make sense, and the other half don't either. So
Yay!
It's true. Yeah.
It is
yeah.
true.
United and it feels so good.
The Prometheus tour scene here kind of uses some clever camera work. Apparently they used
the
a figure
circles.
8 pattern that reuses the same set pieces to create the illusion of a larger ship.
Oh, they're walking in a figure 8.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
A
okay.
figure 8 pattern, yeah.
Okay.
2 circles.
That makes a lot of sense. Just keep on walking around and around.
And we're walking
Yeah,
this
right.
way.
So this way. All right. Put it back in your pants.
Just get it
Yeah,
out
I
and
know,
measure it,
right?
guys.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. They're gonna start measuring again around the dinner table.
You guys did blow up a significant object in orbit, which did damage our technology. So, oh boy. Oh, come
we actually-
on.
So annoying.
Bronson does a good job of holding it together though, while still being like lightly sassy. I also loved before when they were asking technical questions and Jack sort of just stepped back and let Sam
Yeah.
Yeah.
walk forward
Carter.
and explain the
Carter.
hyperdrive. It was my favorite.
Nice sweater.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's quite long as
Oh,
well.
I'd be
Looks like he's got, like-
scratching.
it looks like
I'd
he's
be
wearing a
itching
sweater
so much in
underneath
it. He
the
is.
sweater.
Especially if it's like wool.
Yeah.
Wool is very scratchy.
So the thing that I thought that was a chevron. So the thing that I found a little bit disturbing, and the episode makes a point. There are still there are still humans in the galaxy that worship the gods of their texts, even if they're no longer around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's worshiping Hero. I think he
yeah.
worships Heroer.
It
Oh,
is
dear.
Heroer, yeah.
Oh, he's
It's,
very dead.
I mean, it's
He's
hard
very
because because like the text that would have supported how terrible Heroer was has been destroyed, so got no
Yeah,
reference point.
That's it.
So
This guy started
Ashlyn-
eating first. Did you see that? Their leader's just already eating. Like, bro, wait for everyone else. Their
Yeah.
plates haven't even arrived yet.
They don't know to do that.
So,
oh, look at that mashed potatoes.
Sorry, Ashwin's just made a bit of a distance miscalculation. So he said millions of light years away, but Earth is oh my God. So he's
Okay.
placed Earth way beyond the Milky Way's borders. Like
I was
since
gonna
the
say.
galaxy is only about 100,000
100
light
to
years
110,000
across,
light
it's
years
like-
across. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
overshot by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
Like
my
it's probably
brain
like
stopped
millions of
working
miles
midway
away.
through
Yeah,
that
millions
But
of
not
miles,
light
yeah.
years away.
Had like a massive brain fart moment there.
No, it's all right.
My brain forgot how to form words.
That's okay. It's early for you.
Yes.
Dan
Only
Ben,
had
8
4
is
hours
similar to
sleep.
an infinity logo, but different. Yes, the infinity logo is on its side. 8 is up and down.
That's true.
And it's
The way
slightly
you-
shaped differently. Anyway.
The way you said that was funny. Made me laugh.
Oh,
Oi, oi, oi.
Did you say year 0?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Here's the measuring.
Here we go.
Just out as a sign of weakness, then this entire show that we're doing is
But
he
I
wouldn't
love
approve.
Sam like swooping in with some like emergency diplomacy as
We
these
all
like
have
two
merits.
commanders literally square off in their
Yes.
interplanetary
I'd be like,
ego
my
match.
dude, one of us is exploring other planets. The other one is picking in the dirt.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
so I
exploring the
love
back
this
garden.
toast. Watch how Jack replicates the toast. It's adorable. Like they've just sort of lightly touched the he like full on presses the entire
He
glass
tries
to the,
though,
like,
doesn't
bridge of his
he?
nose. It's so
He's
cute.
trying.
But it's the perfect example of Jack trying to follow diplomatic protocol, but somehow making it distinctively Jack.
Or the glasses that are cut at an angle in
I hate those
on
glasses.
Yoranda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
the
he's, oh
side.
my god, he can't drink
Like,
out
how
of
do I
them.
negotiate with this?
I just got like a flashback to Daniel being like, "Oh yeah, anthropologists do this all the time," and then sounds like I'm not an anthropologist. And I feel like they've picked up on the whole, Daniel trying to get them to do the little customary things and show some respect
Yeah,
in some
I mean,
ways.
like they
It's
said,
quite
they've been
cute.
to 133 planets, so
Yeah,
they've been
Stuck.
practicing.
You
Which
and
is
your
a sign of
shoulder
respect,
pads.
if
Get out of
anything.
here.
Mm. Share that in common, yeah. I think Jack can turn it on when he wants to,
yeah.
but it's probably quite energy depleting.
Not to constantly behave yourself.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
To go out of character.
Effort.
Yes.
Yeah, you can start exploring the galaxy if you have a set of
Yeah.
gate coordinates. That's one of the things that the show never really discusses. It talks about us connecting with other inhabited life forms, but it never talks about us connecting each of them with other inhabited life, unless they already knew each other or came
Yeah.
across like the Nox and the Tolan do, out of a situation with
Yes.
us. But they don't really talk about creating a network of cooperative planets. Oh, there we
No.
go.
The only I guess the only example would be in is it 2001?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Incarans met the The Vians, yeah. Not Vians.
And they're connected with the Ashen as well. Like it's all, yeah.
Yep. Not the Vians.
No, I think you're right. I think it is the Vians.
I think I said in Karen's though. The Ashen, the Enchant. No, the Vians. That's season 3. Someone will correct me. I give up. My give up. Oop, there we go.
Nice.
The Volians.
Folians,
It
thank
it
you.
came to me.
I knew it.
The
Sounds
V and
very
the S
similar.
were correct.
Yes, the V, yes.
Shop Eye.
Oh, don't you worry. Yeah,
You're
Teal'c's
close.
fluent. I'd be reading that with gloves on, guys.
Right.
Like, how old is that?
Yeah. Well, you never see Indiana Jones pulling out a pair of gloves.
No.
Well, his time was before latex. Let's be fair.
Yeah, to be fair, actually, yeah.
To be fair. Hilarious.
Alrighty then, 214 says, why don't I get the notification that this is happening once you are nearly over? Hello. Hello.
YouTube cannot be trusted.
Yeah,
No,
I was
it
going to
really
say,
can't.
have we seen you before? Alrighty then. What a great name. Very funny. Yeah, this is a big deal, you asshat.
So I think between Kalthus and the Chapper Eye, at least one of them has an excuse for their tunnel vision. And though I'd sort of argue that the giant ring with one eye still has a wider worldview.
Okay.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
They detonate an object in orbit of us that weakens our infrastructure. And they fly down in a ship armed to the teeth, ask for our historical documents, and start running around with our military. I would have cause for a little bit of concern.
No, that's completely fair.
So we're back at the Richmond Sand Dunes, practically a regular cast member at this point in the show.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it deserves some credits in the opening scenes. Yeah, for sure.
Camera's
Okay,
just low enough so you
I
can't see
love
things behind.
how shallow this grave is. Like,
They are not allowed to dig deep on film. Robert Cooper and I talked at length
Okay.
about that for Doppelganger when Ronan
because
is
like
buried.
the ancient Egyptians like hid their mummies better than this, and they weren't even trying to erase history. So
Yeah.
it's like dig a little deeper next time.
Cover stone.
Well, this is nice, yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice cover stone.
It's nice to see them, like discovering Stargates. It's always, you know what, a bit nostalgia.
I do like the process that they go through of unearthing and raising this Stargate.
Yep.
It's
I
always
think quite
exciting,
lovely.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because you can
SG-1
appreciate
finally
the sheer
gets-
scale and the
Yeah.
weight of the moment, but it also kind of feels like they are filling in a bit of a gap in the episode.
Alrighty, then said, my name is Andrew. I host the podcast Cree You. Great name for your podcast.
Well, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
I'll go and show some support for it. Gonna screenshot that name.
I would have loved to have gotten my hands on these cover stones.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know if they survived?
I don't know what happened after this episode.
Okay. What would they
Oh,
have been
this is
made
really
of?
cool. I don't like this
Foam.
episode. This is great.
Foam,
Yeah, they
okay.
look like they're made of foam. They look
Yeah.
good as hell.
Especially that one in the middle. That's quite decorative.
But look, all the sand they're gonna have to clean off that stuff later. Ugh,
Exactly.
what a nightmare. It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
Everywhere. Cool. Cool shot.
Yeah, this is nice
Yeah,
and
see,
dramatic.
it is cool.
I like
It
this.
is
This is
cool.
cool, yeah. This is the best thing about this episode.
Because we
It is
kind of haven't
neat.
seen this since the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never with
not
modern,
like this.
like with a wench.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Last time was just loads of people pulling on it.
I would have loved to have been there for this shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I would have cried.
And they've done it at just the right time of day with the sun
Yeah.
is like
The
streaming
drama.
right through.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Damn, this is nice. The music, I'm feeling nostalgic. Wow, I did not expect this emotion to come out. What a wave. Whew.
Write it out.
Yeah.
So, when like Jonas activates the gate, we kind of hear the sound, but the top portion appears to be inactive while the rest is lit up, but it could just be like the tricky lighting on the gate surface
Yeah.
in this this sunlight.
I suspect they're on.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go.
Yeah, I remember this part distinctly, and I remember being like, oh, I'm
So-
sick of you.
Look at him
Apparently
go.
This is a variant of the Cadillac Gauge Commando, which is the
Wow.
same type of attack vehicle they used in Vietnam. And those twin guns mounted on top are M1919s, which is
okay.
standard military issue from the 1960s.
I love that he's like, I'm taking back what's like belongs to my people. Like, we're not taking it anywhere. We can't
Yeah.
we can't fit the gate through the gate. You know,
I think he's
you
talking about
Exactly.
ownership of it, possession of it,
Yeah.
in terms of its
Still.
operation.
Well.
David, why are you standing up for this guy at all? God knows what's about to come through that thing.
Just tell him how to use an iris and then just leave him to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or rebury it when you're not using it.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly
Classic.
right. Yeah. They literally just want to go through it. They're not going to take it anywhere.
But things have a way of coming through it.
Yeah.
Offer them an iris.
Yeah, they're half off this month.
They buried it to keep your evil god away. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of interesting because this storyline sort of mirrors the real ancient Egyptian history. There was a pharaoh, Akhenaton. So when that pharaoh died, the priests erased him from history, just like the Tigrians have done here, and lost their past. So they removed his name from the temples, destroyed his monuments. Literally what happened here.
I always find that really funny how like history is made by those who like survive, you know, who come out on top a lot. And
Yeah,
it's very
of
interesting
course.
how much history is wiped in moments like that
Yeah,
would
we
have
can be
actually been really
selective
helpful.
when you're kind of like in charge of documenting it.
Yeah. It's really crazy, messed up.
When you think that you know better than other people,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
you're willing to destroy history rather than preserve it and learn from it because you don't believe that people are capable of learning.
That's true.
Yeah.
Too traumatic to
Um,
revisit.
Mm.
So why keep history intact? Because someone will just be stupid and do it again because people are stupid, right?
I mean, we're all doomed
People
to
are
repeat
stupid.
history. It's all we do.
In one form or another, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least
One thing
make
I
it
do,
rhyme.
one thing I do like that, or like, it's not, I don't like it, but it's something important and something that I'm actually getting really sad about is people who survived World War II, where, you know, that generation's running out
They're
and
dying
they
out.
taught us so many things about how, like, we all know how bad war is, but them being a part of the community is so important. And losing that, I'm scared that the next generations, we are doomed to repeat World War again.
Oh,
So,
I think we're already almost there.
I know.
So we
scary.
missed Colonel Ronson's his line basically, which was a nod to Han Solo's dialogue from A New
Oh
Hope.
God, really? I
It was
missed the Han
almost
Solo
Really?
word
dialogue.
for word. He
Oh,
said,
no.
"Let's hope the old man is right, or this is going to be a short ride." Very reminiscent, very reminiscent of that.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, okay
Aw.
then. Here we go.
Of course, I missed the Han Solo stuff. I love that Indiana Jones and Han Solo both making some sort of appearance in this episode for us.
I don't know who said it. I think it was
And it's the
Einstein.
same
Someone can
actor.
correct me, but I don't know what World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with stones and sticks.
Oh,
wow,
that's twisted.
big. Yeah,
I like that, David. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
that is
Oh.
very scary.
I like it in that. I think it's an important thing to think about.
It's poetic and also scary.
Yep.
Yeah.
All these big old gun
Big ship.
barrels. This is a good
Christopher
speech.
Judge's knees are really far apart, bro. Put your knees together. They're not in pain.
He can't. He's probably too muscular down there. Like he can't have his legs too close together.
Damn, if my legs were that far apart, I'd be like, they'd be so painful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, they're a
really?
bit closer now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm weak.
I'm like just
I have
looking at
weak
that
legs.
thinking no big deal because I do yoga several times a week.
Oh yeah, I do nothing. I like sit on my sofa and eat Nutella.
I'll sit in your office chair and
And
eat
eat Nutella.
Nutella.
Yeah. One or the other.
This is a great speech.
It's a very good speech.
No Nutella though. That's missing.
It's not as tasty as Nutella, but it's a pretty good speech.
What are we talking about right now? Come on. Bring it back in.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Let's all be friends. Let's all be besties.
Let's try.
We're all from the same damn,
We're
origin.
cut from the same cloth.
Exactly.
Yes.
They
Yes,
didn't
they
have. They
did.
didn't have good reason to be afraid. Oh, I've got to try and get this guy on the show.
He's pretty
You should
good.
definitely. I love
Yeah.
how this like wormhole extremists has sort of
Spurred
inspired
me
you
to
to reach
action?
out to particular
Well,
actors.
Yeah.
it's my mission anyway. And then going through this show, it's like, oh yeah, I haven't
That
paid
person,
nearly
that
enough
person.
attention to this person.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, he's just in one episode, but I think he does a very
Yeah,
good job.
I
He definitely
like
stands out
talking
for
to people
sure.
in one episode. So I'm gonna try and get. Someone asked me to get the actor who played the kid who's dating Cassandra, who gives her the prism. He was actually one of the singing
yeah.
aliens in
Dominic
Dominic. He was one of the singing aliens in One False Step. So
Oh, how
like,
dare you!
killed two
Oh,
episodes.
yes,
I haven't talked with
yes.
anyone from those episodes. So you know what?
Huh.
Aww.
So that's quite sweet.
Mhm.
It is.
Little bit. you know.
Okay, so
yeah.
during this dialing sequence, watch the right-hand side of the DHD closely. One of the glyph keys gets caught on the activation
Oh
button.
no!
Oh, you're
Yeah.
joking. It's that sand.
Yeah.
It's got
It'd be
between those
crunchy. It's been
buttons.
buried for so long.
Yeah,
Yes,
it would be
yeah.
crunchy. Ugh. Coarse and rough. Gets everywhere.
Yeah. And like you just know, like dealing with sand, you can never get rid of it all.
No.
Okay, watch
looking,
right-hand
I'm
side.
looking.
Right-hand side sort of upper.
Yeah. It sure did.
Can you see?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Stuck.
Oh, that's silly. They could have reshot that. I guess no one
They
noticed.
could have.
That's a really easy one to fix.
But you know,
Well-
it's time and money.
There is a tight
Um,
shot on the seventh chevron back at the SGC. When the chevron comes down, the plastic behind it folds in. And if you look at that shot,
Yes.
you can see it every single time, and they've never fixed it.
So I think given the
Never
Tigrean
noticed.
sort of similar level of technology to Earth, many fans sort of speculated that this first contact should have led to like some ongoing relations to the two worlds, but it's never confirmed on screen.
Well, I'm sure they didn't want to revisit it after, what I'm assuming would be more or less poor reception of the episode because
I-
it wasn't that great.
Got to do this. Randall Wong in the comments says, "Visitors from another world, another world." That was Memento.
Look what you said. Nutella is better than most speeches. Damn right. Damn right.
I literally had some Nutella in my breakfast just before I came on air.
Oh, God.
I ate the rest of my jar
keeps me
while I was
going.
waiting for this to start. So
What is it? I mean,
It's chocolate spread. It's hazelnut spread.
Have you never had
Okay.
Nutella?
I have.
It's chocolate
I have
hazelnut
had
I
it.
spread.
called it chocolate spread
Um,
in front of Alexis when he was staying with me, and I put it on my pancakes, and he went, "It's not chocolate spread. It's mostly hazelnut." And he properly got into it with me. It
Oh,
was
really?
really funny, yeah, because he was
Yeah.
like, "How dare you call this chocolate spread? It's hazelnut."
Well, I
and I
had
never really realized.
a similar argument in grade school, and we went round and round for days about ketchup being mostly sugar.
It is,
And
yeah,
I was saying
delicious.
it's mostly
probably is
sugar,
mostly
salt,
sugar.
and
It's
tomato
not
paste. They're
tomato.
like, it's tomatoes. I'm like,
It's
yes, there are
not.
tomatoes in it, but it's mostly
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah,
So
And it is mostly amazing. I actually
Yes.
love ketchup.
me
There
too.
you go.
It's most English food has ketchup on it.
And
so.
you like peanut butter, don't you, Evie? Like most Australians don't like peanut butter.
I do like peanut
Yeah.
butter. I don't have it often, but I do enjoy it every now and then. I actually enjoy it with jam or, jelly, as
Yeah.
you call it in the
Does
US.
Adam
Yeah,
eat peanut butter?
and jelly. Not really,
Yeah.
no.
Peta likes
Actually,
it. I
the
hate it.
cats really like the taste of
Oh, my
peanut
dog
butter.
loves it.
They actually
Yeah,
love
it's
the
a great
taste of
snack.
Vegemite as well.
Yeah.
Twisty loves Vegemite. Not a lot, just literally
That
just like a
sharp
spear.
yeastiness.
But it's the saltiness because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Vegemite just tastes like salt basically.
We
Yeah.
would give one of my dogs like a lick of take a spoon of peanut butter, then take the spoon out, and then put it on the roof of the dog's mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
my
like
dog
they're
does the
talking, yeah.
same. The episode.
Yes. Anyway, yeah. About
I-
that's over with. No,
I
it was
don't know
actually
how
better
to
than I
Rate
remember it.
this. Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
better.
It's not a memorable episode for me.
No.
I always forget about it, and I was going through like my research for this episode, and I came across a quote from Joseph Malozzi, because I think on his blog, like he does a rundown of each of the episodes of the series that he was involved in, and kind of like gives a little bit of background information. And this episode, he's just like, I don't remember what happans in this episode, and that was like literally
memory
his
hold it.
rundown. Like it's just.
Yeah.
It doesn't stick in the memory.
No.
Like there are some great sort of individual performances. Is it Robert Foxworth?
Robert Foxworth. What a
He's
voice.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has got a fantastic voice. And I don't know, I like seeing the Prometheus kind of on its first, I guess it's maiden voyage,
Yeah.
kind of, with its official crew. But yeah, it's just I feel like we've done this before.
We've done this before. It sucks.
We've
It
done this
sucks.
before. It's kind of like
It's-
Cure?
It's
It's very similar, like
similar to that
one
episodes
New Ground.
we've done
New
this
Ground.
season.
New Ground.
And it's like New Ground, and New Ground wasn't a great episode either. So yeah, I guess I might.
We've
as well
had
just
a
go
lot
with
of
my
these
rating at this
beats
stage.
of raising
I
the Stargate,
think
but
I think it's probably like a 2 for me.
they had
Yeah.
this beautiful
Three, it's
this
not
beautiful
good.
spaceship set. They had to use it.
Just put Claudia Black in it, and just that's it. That's all you need.
Robert Foxworth does a great job in this episode. There's a great speech in it. The ideas where a civilization has suppressed all knowledge beyond a certain point in its history, I totally get that.
Yeah.
The visual effects are good with the ship. Take Aaron Gant and William Ronson. They're it's fine. It's probably a 2 for me.
I'm gonna absolutely blow everyone away with my 2 as well.
Oh wow!
3 6s
How
and 3
often
2s.
have we been?
I don't think we've ever
For
been bang on for
back-to-back
both episodes.
Probably
yeah, I
not.
don't think we've ever
Probably
been 2
for not
for 2.
back-to-back episodes.
No,
Yeah,
I think we've been pretty close, but not back to back.
I'm close to a 3, but it's definitely more of a 2.
Yeah, I think the rising of the gate was one whole point.
It's a great
on its own.
sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great sequence. Music's
Yeah, they
good.
used it again
feel,
in
it did
in
still
200.
feel like it did still feel like a bit of a filler scene though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they ran out of content, so they're like, let's just do this like protracted long scene with them raising the gate. But it was beautiful. It was
if
beautiful.
Evie is making a comment about like, oh, leave no stone unturned, look under every rock, and I'm thinking King Richard III, then something's wrong with the episode.
Your mind's wandering.
Okay? Yeah.
It's not keeping you interested in enough. Or if there's like a really relevant piece outside of Stargate to bring it in, that's something else. But it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Nutella.
Nutella.
Right?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, because that's me thinking about Nutella is more interesting. Although David was like, hey, there is a speech. I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Let's listen to the interesting speech. Let's give that a couple points. But
Yeah,
not
this
enough.
episode was spread more thinly than Nutella. Nutella is a denser spread.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She thick. Yeah, no.
Yvie?
Okay.
Oh yeah, you've already
Oh
given
yeah,
your
we
rating.
said
Yeah,
all
Nicole,
twos.
what's your what's
Two.
everyone's Nicole? What's everyone saying?
What's everyone saying? Let's go. I love that this one was really chaotic because we're like, how do we talk about this
Right.
episode? It's so blur. But we usually take turns. We've kind of been going all over the
It's
gas.
scatter.
So
Yeah, we're just let's
let's move on. I hate you, David.
I know.
Oh dear. Homo Herbal, 5 chevrons. Why?
Okay.
Respectfully,
Okay.
why?
Respectfully, why?
Respectfully, why?
Rush Luther, Memento is another one of my favorite episodes. What do you mean? Okay, my rating is 6 out of 7. I don't know what's good. You guys are going to knock the average off into way too positive. My rating 6 out of 7. It would have been great to have a follow episode, especially since the X-303 is still there until Grace. What? Really? Is that when it next comes in Grace?
Yeah,
Yeah, those two
Yeah.
actors are still in Grace.
because it's doing its
Wow.
Star Trek Voyager thing
Ronson
from now until
and
Grace.
Gant are in Grace. Yeah.
Mad. Streamer Victoria 3. Other than raising the gate, I was zoned out. Nice. Plus, watching it on 20-year-old me hand down discs on 20-year-old hand me down discs on a tiny DVD player made me very lost. My mouth broke there. There was a lot of words happening. Yeah, that's fair. That's how I used to watch a lot of my Stargate stuff actually on actually that's how I watched most of the show on a portable DVD player that my grandparents had for traveling because they had the TV, so I just watch it.
Shimmering Victoria, it was said that.
Yeah.
3, other than
Anthony,
raising the gate, I was zoned out, plus
Yeah.
watching on 20-year-old hand-me-down discs and my tiny... Okay, 3, other than raising the gate, I was zoned out,
right?
plus watching it on 20-year-old hand-me-down discs on a tiny DVD player made me very lost. Woo, that was tough!
Yeah, I needed some commas in there. It's okay. You don't. I'll just. It's funnier to watch me flub and panic, than use commas because effort. That's how I do things. I don't use proper grammar anywhere when I'm
Grammar,
texting.
yeah.
Anthony, this one's a 3 for me. Lockwater said they make some with bananas. Is that Nutella?
I love
Okay.
peanut butter and bananas. I love peanut butter and apples.
Jacob. Oh, no,
Yes.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
Jacob,
Apple
3
slices.
chevrons. A bit
Yep,
forgettable
I
and
agree
silly
with
at
that.
times, but I don't mind it. I'll say this, Chairman. Well played. Yeah, I like that. Damn Ben, I don't eat tomatoes, but I do like ketchup. Same. Damn Ben, no, I don't like Marmite or Nutella. What? Okay, you're not allowed here anymore. Stuart Miller, 4 chevrons. Candy Mitch, 7. What is going
7?
on? Please
Really,
explain
Candy Mitch?
yourself.
Can you please reveal
Yeah,
how you
explain
feel? Why you
yourself.
feel so passionately about it?
I said I love this episode, but forgot what season episode it was. Well, then how could you love it so much? Candy Mitt, what? Okay. Lockwatcher, this is a 6 for me. What is going on? I feel like there's something wrong with us. I like the space episode. Effects were great. Robert Foxworth was such a strong character. A fun, complete episode. The music in the end, as they located the Stargate, was fun. G and Diada, level-headed. 3 for me. I would have liked to see more of these people. I'll take it. Sorry, guys. No offense to the people who are giving it really high ratings. I just can't even begin to
But
comprehend.
also, why?
Yeah, why?
Like you keep on saying, why?
Keko Fett, 3 out of 7. Just decent episode, but very forgettable and nothing that stands out much. Yeah. Dan Ben, 5 out of 7. I like this episode. Jed Ted, 4 chevrons for the movie callbacks. Yeah. Lockwatcher, this is a great car episode. Story when heard only is great. Alrighty then, said definitely a 6 chevron episode for me. I just don't know what's going on in this chat. Chibi Me said it's a very glitchy chevron, so a 3 with an
It's a
asterisk.
very
Who just-
glitchy chevron.
Oh my goodness, I appreciate that. Wow. Lockwatcher said if you do a 2.1, they'll move it to a 3. No, we won't. We'll round it down to a 2.
We'll round it down. If 2.5,
Yeah, 2.5 will go up.
Yeah, 2.0
Yeah.
to 2.4 goes to 2.
Chibi Me said 3 chevrons. The 3rd chevron is glitchy. It's fine, but it brings nothing now to the table other than some good performances in some scenes. Yeah. Raj Luther said actually. Oh yeah, Raj Luther corrected them. Cool, that's fine. There it is. There it is. I'm doing it. There it
That's
comes.
good.
Couldn't even do
You're
it.
doing a good job.
Oh dear. And I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Shimmer Victoria said, "My hands were full, hard to type. I respect it. Don't worry, all good." And Radu said, "It's a very fun episode, Nicole. Is it now?" Candy Mitt said, "I have poor memory. I love that they get treated as they treat others who go to Earth." That's fair. That is interesting.
It's everything is reversed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I was bored. So
Yeah. So was I.
yeah. I don't like being mean to
I agree.
Stargate, but
Look, sometimes, what's the word that I'm looking for? Credit where
Stargate's
credit
smelly.
is due.
Yep, true.
Stargate be smelly sometimes. But overall,
Not
we
every
love
episode is
Stargate.
going to be a home run. You can't
No,
bat
no,
a
it's not.
1,000. Not when
No.
you're doing 22 episodes a season. When you
Nope.
were doing
Yep,
10, maybe.
exactly.
So,
Stargate would have been a very different show if it was only 10 episodes. It'd be way more like drama focused, less planet
Yes,
journey
that's right.
exploration based.
That's right.
I'm glad we got Stargate when we did.
That's
So-
right. There we
Me
go.
too.
Oh, guys, we've only got 2 more episodes left.
In
I
season
know.
6,
We've
that's
only
right.
got one more week. I feel
about
like the
to
season
enter
has
the
lasted
best.
forever.
It's because it
Yeah.
has.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm so excited for season 7. It's actually so fantastic. Daniel's back. Bye, Jonas. It's gonna be so good. Good riddance, season 6. Can't wait to see you go. I thought I was more excited for it than I was, and now I'm at the end of it. I'm like, oh, get me out. I can't wait.
Yeah.
God, I think
So-
we're all like exhausted at this point.
Yeah, I'm so tired. I'm just so done with this episode, with the season. I can't. I'm so honestly next. week's gonna be
Thankfully,
great.
we had Changeling, so there was a good one. there to start
Thank
off
God.
with.
It's a
Look,
shame
there
it
has
wasn't the
been some
second
good
one.
episodes throughout this season, but yeah, I think Changeling is definitely the star, I think, of
Last
this
week we
season, for
ended it a
sure.
bit stinky. This week we ended it a bit stinky. Gecko Fett made a great point. Naked Daniel. Yes, I'm very excited for Naked Daniel. Can't wait. Love it.
I touched
Love
on that
it.
with Michael in his interview. What was it like
Oh,
coming
I
back
watched it.
naked?
Yeah.
So-
Punishment for leaving the
Yeah.
show.
Punishment.
Absolutely.
Hilarious.
Ah, love it. Wow.
Um,
I got nothing.
yeah. Okay, guys.
Time to something profound. I got nothing.
I
The
have nothing
throats of
profound.
10,000 men may be cut by a running man with a knife.
Is that
Oh, that's
okay?
That's quite
That's
violent.
profound. Yeah.
That's some
All
violent
right.
imagery.
Yeah.
All right,
right.
guys.
Marinate.
Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We'll be back next Sunday, January the 19th at 12 noon Pacific time for Prophecy and Full Circle. And then Wednesday, January 22nd at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, our midweek movie, Stardust. So, yeah, I'm interested to see. I think this is my first film where I've not watched it at all. I hadn't
Yeah.
seen Inner Space in a while, but I've not seen
Yes.
this one at all. So
I hadn't seen
Yes,
Inner
I haven't
Space or
seen this
Contact.
at
This
all.
is the oh my god, guys, this is like my favorite movie of all time. So I'm very excited.
You haven't seen it either, Evie? Oh,
Guys, you need to
okay.
music
I
on
don't
for this,
think so,
David. So
no.
find a way to make it work. 'Cause
I
music
can.
really is.
I can do that. I can play it from a different device and just
Yeah, it's
okay.
I'm excited.
Okay.
We just have to find a movie that none of us have seen.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
That-
I'll
I
ask.
don't-
We'll ask
Yeah.
around.
But I mean, then what's the point of the commentary? It's just listening to us
Oh
breathing.
yeah.
So-
That's a good point actually, because
Yeah,
one of
that's
us,
a good point.
none of us
Yeah.
will be able to
Unless
like
there was
during
no
Contact.
story whatsoever, it was just watching. So
Yeah.
all right, gang. We appreciate
All
you
right.
tuning in. Thank you
Thanks,
all.
guys.
If you
Yes,
enjoyed
thank
the
you for
episode,
joining
hit
us.
that like button. It does make a big difference.
Share
I
with
know that some of
friends.
you haven't because there are more viewers than there are likes. It really does.
Yeah.
Make a difference. We really do appreciate it.
It does.
I mean, if you hated it, that's one thing, but you know. So.
Yeah, and we
Why
know
are you
you're coming
watching?
back. Even if you take breaks, when you come back, it's always really nice. Like
Yes.
Chibi Me, I haven't seen you in forever, and then the other person who we haven't seen in forever came back, and that was
That
who
one
was
person.
Who was that? I need to scroll.
It was
back.
early in the stream.
It was
Yeah.
earlier in the stream, but I respect you for coming back after
Appreciate
all this
you all.
time. Thank you.
You take care of yourselves. We are the Wormhole Extremists, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.